one thing that we cannot deny is the Epstein Island, the pedophilia, the underage child sex trafficking is no longer allowed to operate in the shadows. Ever since Trump and the executive order from the 21st of December of 2017, it can never go back into the box. We've opened Pandora's box for the world to witness.
1221, take it away. Epstein Island burns away.
Now I am just the messenger, but here you go. I've been researching all of this pedophilia, the sex trafficking, drug trafficking trade and rings for quite some time. Now the FBI uncovered a sex trafficking ring back in Boys Town, right outside of Omaha, Nebraska. That was back in the late 80s, early 90s when Barney Franks was a senator. The FBI field director's name was run into the ground. He was forced out of the FBI and eventually suicided. Pizzagate is real. It isn't some conspiracy theory. It is real. It's always been real. And you can't convince me otherwise. If you think that the Wayfair stuff makes you sick, then just wait and keep digging. Keep going down the rabbit hole. Because trust me, what you're seeing is just a small piece to a very huge puzzle. This runs deep. It runs so very deep. People laughed at Pizzagate. They are not laughing anymore. Human trafficking is real. It's always been real. It's one of the classes you take when you are fostering/adopting. It is at least 4 hours. Elite pedophilia is a real thing. Organ harvesting is a real thing. It's not new phenomenon. It's actually got ancient ties to an ancient hope. It's not something that just started. It's been going on since antiquity. It is not something that is just going on in the US. It is happening worldwide. It is happening all over the world. And unfortunately, it involves Hollywood, pedowood. It involves politicians on both sides of the aisle and embedded all throughout. It involves the rich, the elite, people you look up to. And those are the ones that are involved. And I get it. It's hard to wrap your head around what's going on. It's hard to imagine something so dark and disgusting going on right under our very nose. It's hard to imagine something so evil is happening to our children. It's easy to laugh it off as some conspiracy theory and turn the blind eye, turn your cheek. Oh no, not my favorite actor, you say. Singer, my favorite politician, my favorite actor. I love that movie. Oh no. It can't be Hillary. She can't be involved. She was going to save us from Trump. The International Labor Organization estimates 40.3 million human trafficking victims globally. If you think this is still a hoax or don't want to come to terms with the facts that an elite pedophile ring exists, then ask yourself this. Everyone knew about Epstein and his love for underage girls. People were calling Little St. James Pedophile Island since Epstein purchased the island in 1998. With that kind of knowledge, why would and why did people like Bill Clinton and Obama visit Epstein's pedophile island multiple times? Why did the locals report seeing dozens of young women being taken across and living there, over there, for years? Why was Bill Gates a regular visitor there? Prince Andrew, do I need to say more? And why is the Queen going around threatening anyone to run the story if it's not true? You mean to tell me that all these prominent men and women went to the pedophile island for just a big party and to lay on the beach and soak up some rays for the surf and turf, knowing what they knew about him, that it wasn't a secret? What was Epstein using the underground tunnels for? Was Ghislaine Maxwell his pimp, his handler? Do you know she owned a submarine company? Do you know that she was a sub-pilot, had a sub-pilot license? What could she possibly need a submarine pilot license for? Do you know that yachts with submarines were used to transport kidnapped children from Haiti to Epstein's pedo island? What about Laura Silsby, the woman who was tried in Haiti for trying to sneak and kidnap 30 children to bring them to the U.S.? U.S. Clinton used executive order to bring her back without being charged. The kicker? Guess who changed their legal name and is in charge of Amber Alert? Laura Silsby. But let's not mention that. People who dig down the hole end up dying. Did you know that the Terra Mar project was founded by Clinton Foundation and was located in the Lynn D. Rothschild property in Manhattan? Chelsea Clinton and Ghislaine are reportedly to be very close and actually vacationed together. You mean to tell me that Chelsea didn't know about Ghislaine? Remember when Chelsea's wedding was paid for with money that was supposed to feed starving children in Haiti? I do. What did Hillary put Ghislaine's nephew in charge of the key Middle East policy decisions when she ran the State Department? You know, the one overseeing the U.S.-Libya policy that got an ambassador killed. What about the Podesta emails? What was up with John and Tony Podesta's artwork? Would you own any of that creepy art? I wouldn't. Why would Obama buy $65,000 worth of taxpayers' money to have hot dogs fly in from Chicago for a private party, according to WikiLeaks emails? Did you know that the hot dog is an FBI code for young boys? Who is James افلانtis, a pizza restaurant owner in D.C. who happens to be named one of the most powerful people in D.C. for having a pizza place? A man that owns a children's pizza place, a man that has close ties with the Clintons, Obamas, Epstein, and many, many, many more. He's actually married into a Rothschild that, if you look into James افلانtis. Have you seen this, his Instagram? Oh, you probably haven't. You're just now looking into everything, I bet. Have you looked up the art that stuff that's in the pizza place? Even. You want your kids seeing that kind of stuff? I don't. What about the dark web login to get into a site and order pizza that costs thousands of dollars? Oh wait, that was taken down, I believe. What is a pizza place owner doing communicating with the White House? What about the Hollywood actor that walked into Comet and shot a locked closet door? The same closet that houses his computer, which ended up with a bullet through the hard drive. Odd. Really odd. What about Anthony Weiner? All the emails found on his laptop. You mean to tell me that his wife, Huma Abedin, had no knowledge of what was going on? Huma and her friend Hillary had no clue about this 15-year-old girl, huh? What about that folder named Life Insurance? You know, the one that housed the now famous videos called Frazzle Drip with Huma and Hillary. You want nightmares? Read about that video. You don't have to watch it. The same Huma and Hillary who 9 NYPD have committed suicide after watching a horrific video of them doing some unspeakable things to a little girl. The same NYPD who threw up because what they saw was so horrific. Speaking of suicide, why have about 57 former colleagues and associated people ended up dead in the past 30 years? 15 have died of suicide, 8 died in a plane crashes, car or motorcycle accident, and 14 have been found mysteriously murdered or suicided. All of these people had info that could have potentially hurt the Clintons' political career and life in general. I don't even have 57 friends, let alone 57 people that I need to add to a hit list. Why is James Comey's daughter the lead prosecutor on the Epstein sex trafficking case? Former CEO of Reddit, Ellen Pao, admitted they knew Ghislaine Maxwell and that they supplied underage girls for Epstein and his pedo buddies. The Norwegian royal family implicated Epstein in a scandal. Why? Not surprising considering Prince Andrew? What about Oprah's mentor, John of God and the Weinstein? You mean to tell me Oprah didn't know? Come on now. I mean, we just have to keep going off that these people didn't know, they didn't know, they didn't know, they just didn't know. Have you ever heard of the Nexium case? They were just running a sex cult where Smallville actress Allison Mack was arrested and indicted on federal criminal charges related to sex trafficking. The Mick Martin preschool, the Franklin cover-up, Seth Rich, Isaac Cappy, Boys Town, the Finders, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Dinesh Hastert, do you know him? You should. Good buddies with Podesta. Robert Mendez, Mike Fulmer, prominent Democratic donor, Terry Bean, David Byrd, George Byrd, all known prominent pedophiles. And why don't we hear more about Biden's chunk of the island that he owned? Very close to Epstein's Island, about 9 miles. The Podesta brothers were known suspects years ago when little Mandolin McCain was stolen from her parents' hotel while on vacation. Whatever happened to her? This doesn't even cover a quarter of what is going on. There is so much more than Epstein. It's so much more than Ghislaine. This runs deeper than deep than you could imagine. You're going to be shocked at the ending of it all. The choice to know is yours. It always has been. I'm not interested in hypotheticals or rumors or factless connections. Everything, and I mean everything, ties together. Everything is connected. All you have to do is connect the dots. You don't have to believe me. Matter of fact, I encourage you not to. Do your own research. Connect your own dots. Come to your own conclusions. If you start doing the research, you will see the vast connections of people all throughout time. It's just wild, and I don't believe in coincidences. So while others are more concerned about COVID, I'm more concerned about saving our children. Aren't you? Pass it on if you believe in 1 ounce, 1 iota of this, of any of the above things I mentioned. Share this around your social media platforms while you can. We are heavily shadow banned. Again, I am Michael. This is the Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed to each and every one of you. Where we go one, we go all.